And so that is just a quick example of, or just a quick view of how you navigate the start screen. So let's go have a look at our first app here. So this is the tile down here for the app I want to show you. I'm just kind of holding it down. So this is an app. Let me tell you a little bit about this app before I show it to you. This is an app that's called Ultimate Beer Ranger. So it's a custom line of business app that's built by a company called New Belgium Brewing Company. And they, of course, make beer. And they sell their beer to stores, to restaurants, to bars, nightclubs, things like that. But because of alcohol sales laws, they can't sell directly to them. They have to basically sell to a distributor, and the distributor sells to these retail outlets. Now, New Belgium, so the salespeople at New Belgium Brewery, they don't talk directly to their end customers. They talk to these distributors. But of course, the company really would love to maintain this relationship with the end customers of their product so that they know what they're looking for. They know how their product is being presented and sold and things like that. So they have these folks who they call beer rangers, and their job is to stay in contact with these bars and restaurants and things like that, and make sure that the product is, that they're selling the right products and things like this. And this is an app that New Belgium Brewery has built for their beer rangers. So it's an app that's supposed to make the process of staying in contact with their customers easier. So it's a kind of a twist on a classic CRM scenario. It's actually a front end that's built on top of Microsoft's Dynamics CRM backend, and it's a great scenario for a tablet if you think about it, because these beer rangers are really, really mobile. So let's have a look at the app. Now, before I start it up, you can see right here that it has a live tile like the other apps, some of the other apps I was showing you. So you can see right off the bat, without even starting the app, I can actually see what my next 4 appointments are. Now, let's go start it up. First thing you'll notice is just like the start screen, it's immersive, it's beautiful, it uses the full screen, there's no Chrome or anything like that. It's one of the better looking business apps that I've seen in a long time. And I navigate it just the way I navigate the start screen. I can just pan back and forth. What it's showing me here is basically my schedule for the week. Just like the start screen, I can pinch down to zoom out. Now notice what it did here. The zooming mechanisms in Windows 8, we call it semantic zoom. Instead of zooming out optically and just giving you a smaller version of what you're seeing on the screen, it sort of zooms out conceptually. So here I zoomed out. I have my days of the week. I could just go tap on one, and then it'll zoom back in to that day of the week. I can tap on one of my appointments, and here what you'll see is I actually get a bunch of information about that, that specific client. Things like sales, year-to-date sales and things like that, some contact information. If I pan over to the right here, you can even see some photos of the establishment. And here I could do things like, of course, if I want to create a new appointment, I can just go tap here, and here's a calendar control. I can set an appointment. I could do some other kind of interesting things here. If we go look, I'm at this customer's establishment, Adams Bar and Grill, and I want to take another photo. I can just tap on Add Photo, and it activates, sorry about that, you don't want to see that. It activates the camera on the device, and I could just take a photo and then actually store it in my database here, or in my CRM system here. Let me show you one other neat thing that I like about this. Let me go tap the map icon here. So what this actually does is it actually uses the location services that are built into Windows 8 to actually show me where the customers that are near me are. So maybe I'm driving around and I want to just drop in on some of my customers. This is just a great way to look to see where they are. And so what I love about this app is that it's not only is it beautiful and a great example of what we call the Metro style design, but it also does a great job of just taking advantage of the hardware that I have here. So I've talked a little bit about, a second ago, about just how Windows fades into the background when you're using these apps. But a reasonable question is, okay, well, how do I get Windows back? Let's say I want to go back to the start screen. Let's say I want to switch apps. Let's say I want to change the settings on my machine. How do I do that? Well, we thought a lot about how to design this. And one of the things that we spent a lot of time considering is just how you use a device like this, how you physically hold it. If you think of a tablet like this, the most natural way to hold it is to just palm it like this with your fingers on the right side and on the left side on the bezels. And one of the most natural gestures I could do here is just swipe my thumbs across. It's a really, really simple, really fast and comfortable gesture to do. So we actually take advantage of this throughout the system. So I'm going to show you here, just by swiping from the right, out come these little icons that we call charms. And in any app, anywhere in the system, I could just swipe from the right, and these will come out. And the one that's closest to my thumb is the one in the middle, the Start charm. And just by tapping on it, I go back to the Start menu. See how easy that is? Switching back to an app, just do that from the left, and you can see out comes the app, and I can switch back to it. So very, very easy, very fast, very fluid. I can do this really easily, switch back to it. In fact, let's go back to the start screen. We can start some other apps. Here's mail. Let's go back to start. Here's the calendar, back to start. Here maybe is my weather app, back to start. And now I've got 4 or 5 apps running, and I can just switch through them, just like that. Really, really easy, really, really fast, and really comfortable to do. Let me show you another way to switch through apps. If I just swipe out here and just scroll right back and just sort of move it right back, I get what we call the switch list. So this is just a really, really easy way to actually look at all the apps that I have running right now. And I could just tap through, pick the one that I want and bring it up. Now, you may have noticed when I brought out these charms, there's some other ones here. Let me show you the one at the top. So one of the things in Windows 8, we have this concept of contracts. And contracts are a way for apps to either wire into the system or wire into each other very easily. One of the contracts you can implement as an app is the search contract. And what that lets you do is that lets you actually wire into this system-wide search, wide search system. So I can, for example, here, I can go search for Adam. And what you'll see when I do the search is that it finds the one contact I have in Beer Ranger that has the word Adam in it. But I can also go search, for example, in the files on my system. And that'll search for any file that has the word Adam in it. I can go, in fact, all the apps that are down here all implement this search contract. And I can just tap on an app, and it'll go search in that app for the word. So really, really easy. Writing the code to integrate into this is actually really trivial. And so it gives you a great way to actually implement system-wide search.